You ruined my childhood now.
All that.
Did you
It's
understand
so
them when
cool.
they spoke that kind of German?
The word.
Okay, let's level it up.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Memory unlocked.
Yeah.
I like being surrounded by teachers.
Yeah.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of our podcast where language enthusiasts talk about learning and stuff.
It's three of us here.
I'm Zoya.
I'm Taya.
And I'm Ksusha.
In this chaotic world, we're all in need of safe space to speak one's mind, laugh, and enjoy life.
Because that's the only way to stay sane while
Zooming
through
Chaos.
Hello and welcome back to our podcast and to our channel on YouTube. This is Zooming Through Chaos, and we're happy to have you back. Or if you're the first time here, welcome. It's our place where we talk about languages and stuff. Today we are going to listen to the story of Taya.
hello, here's my story. I was born. I don't.
Not
Okay,
your
so-
life story, but yes, okay.
Thanks for clarifying.
All right. So you have been to a conference recently, and we would like to hear your takeaways from there, or maybe some insights that you gained during your experience at the networking sessions. I don't know. Tell us.
Yeah, sure. I've been to the conference recently. It was in Tomsk. And it's a Siberian city, and it was really cold there.
As
So
expected.
this is
I
my
guess.
first take on that. Yeah, and I felt somehow the warmth of people there, despite the cold. So I think I don't know. It was really a revelation that
That people have warm hearts.
yeah, they're somehow like creative and really talented. I met so many talented people, and they really something amazing. I don't know. I was admiring everyone I met there. So, of course, this conference was organized by the German Culture Center in Russia, and there were representatives of all German centers in Siberia, in the European part of Russia, from Ural as well, Ural region. And there were also teachers, and they were they were representing their language schools and telling us, like sharing experience, how they teach at their institutions.
So it was only for German teachers.
Yes. Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah.
I think it was also for like people with somehow German ancestry.
Most of all, yes, the organizers were of German origin, German ancestor like me, but I've been there as a representative of the German house, German Russian house from Moscow. And I was sharing my experience of teaching theater. So, side note, I'm teaching theater in German.
In German to
For-
children.
to children, right? So
So many questions.
And no answers yet.
like, okay, ask me questions.
How do you teach children in German theater? How
First of all,
is
how
it
do you teach
organized?
theater?
Yeah.
How do you teach it to children?
It's just, I think it's more like a German culture thing that I'm like teaching children, because they don't know anything like about their ancestry. They are Germans of origin, either their parents or grandparents are of German origin, and they just come to like absorb German culture, and I'm telling them
What to
about
absorb?
yes, what to absorb. Yes, through songs, through some oh like stories, tales, and we already had a fairy tale staged with the like eldest group of
Mhm.
the Sunday school, and it was based on the fairy tale of Brothers Grimm.
Mhm.
Do you know
Green Brothers. Yeah. Mhm.
Grimm
Yeah, yeah,
Brothers?
sure, sure, yes.
Do you know any of their fairy tales?
I don't remember
Oh,
the names. I know is that the original stories by them are quite dark, and then people rewrote them or something, adapted, and then they became like children stories, stories for children. And I was like, okay.
Yes, actually, that was what Grimm Brothers did. They adapted all the fairy tales from.
Ah, I see.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
so that was them who made them like children edition.
Yeah, they
Mm-hmm.
collected
Oh.
all these stories by I don't know, traveling around Germany and
Mm-hmm.
collecting
So
these
they're
stories.
folk
And
stories, right?
yes.
Originally. Mm-hmm.
And the one we've staged was the Bremen musicians.
But
Hmm.
it's like Soviet cartoon.
It's an originally a
But
book.
originally it's a book by Grimm
Mm.
Brothers.
You ruined my childhood now.
Sorry. So it was cool. I liked that, and now I've started to prepare them for the New Year's Christmas
Play?
celebrations.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Christmas
Christmas
play,
play.
and they said, "Oh, this is so easy." Uh, the Bremen musicians were really hard, and this is so easy. And I was like, "Okay, sorry."
Okay, let's level it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So back to the conference. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah. Those people are mostly of German origin, and the like the members of the conference who were invited there, they were teachers of German to sometimes to German people as a second language, as their native tongue, because there are still, I didn't know that there are still some villages in Siberia where people speak German as their mother tongue. And it's
There
a
is another
dialect.
reason why
It's
I
not
need to go to
Hochdeutsch.
Siberia, yes. Mm-hmm.
I wish I can go there and
I immediately have
hear
a
people.
memory unlocked. There is this Russian film. I don't remember the name of it. It was something weird. The name was quite weird, but it was about a man who accidentally got somewhere in the middle of Siberia, got into the village of the people who are like a religious village before the church was
Split, like,
renovated, yes, and
or
split,
mhm.
yes. And it was the first time I acknowledged that such a phenomenon can exist and was like, okay. And when you say about the villages of German people somewhere in Siberia, I feel kind of the same emotion.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was pretty shocked. Oh, wow. Yes, and there were representatives from these villages too, and they even gave me some um, like pieces of bread that they cook, and it's a traditional German bread from German settlers. I don't know, from the 18th
Mm-hmm.
century. Wow, how do you preserve all of that?
Did you
It's
understand
so
them when
cool.
they spoke that kind of German?
A word.
Yeah, yeah.
And Taya
Don't
speaks
care.
German fluently. And then you
Yeah.
understand that no, maybe not.
I guess no German except for that region where this dialect is spoken. can understand that.
Mhm.
Even I think even those people who are in this region now and they speak like this Plattdeutsch, it's called
Mhm.
Plattdeutsch.
Mhm.
There's Hochdeutsch and there's Plattdeutsch. Like,
Shaming.
yeah.
Mhm.
I think they wouldn't be able to understand
Well, people
something.
from the north of Germany and the south of Germany don't really understand each other. So, what do you expect from like people who have been living their whole lives in Siberia? So,
Yeah,
yeah.
the language like remained the same as it was in the 18th
Mhm.
century back in those days.
18th?
Yeah,
18th? Not even 19th?
18th century. The manifest of Catherine the Great.
Mm-hmm.
She invited all these Germans and gave
Good for her.
them land to live.
Was such a welcoming lady.
Mm-hmm.
So there you were talking about the theater, as I did I get it
Mm-hmm.
correctly? Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And the other people also were talking about what practices they implement in their centers, right?
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
There were many things like smart boards. They like presented to us some projects. Their children, their students take part in.
Mhm.
Um, it's really a big range of things you can apply as a teacher. It's definitely a very useful thing for teachers to get together and to share your knowledge. And even there was some thing that moved me really.
Mhm.
um, there was a teacher from Voronezh region, and she showed us a video that her students made. Literally, they made this video, and it's a cartoon.
Hmm.
So they draw like every scene of it, every
They
part.
made it of clay, put
Oh my
these
god.
things together,
Mhm.
and they it was just a small dialogue from the book,
Mhm.
Mhm.
like buy a ticket for a flight. I don't know.
Mhm.
And they just put these things figures together, and they started like a video recording,
Mhm.
and they said everything in German, then pause, then rearrange the figures, then
Oh.
again play. It was so cool. I
Mhm.
like that. So
This is
creative.
so different from like the, I don't know, traditional Soviet traditions of how to learn languages. Oh, I love it.
Of course, it's maybe a waste of time, as some teachers might say, but it's
As long as
amazing.
it
It just
motivates students, I don't think it's a waste of time.
mhm,
Agreed,
It motivates them to do
100%.
anything in a language. So.
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, it can
So
just be time consuming. So you need to prepare everything and you need to, yes, record that.
I
But
think it was their initiative, and she had nothing to do with it. Again, it's my assumption. So,
yes, yes, it was. You're right.
so
She just asked them, well, would you like to do something creative? Maybe we
mhm.
could
they're like,
make dialogues,
hmm,
or
clay,
like,
good idea.
yeah, make a video recording. And I said, why not like drawing or maybe making a cartoon out of it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mhm. Cool. That's
Yeah,
great.
very nice.
And it was only about children, so it was all the practices they were directed to that age, or it was for everyone.
um I think it's okay for everyone, but she applied that on like children of seventh grade or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course there were some other presentations from universities professors,
Mhm.
university teachers, and of course they told us about these um,
Practices.
practices they do with their students, like going somewhere in the village and making notes
Mm-hmm.
of
Making notes.
yes, making notes, from people of German origin, how they
These
speak,
villages, got it.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
what recipes they have, maybe traditional recipes. That's also cool.
Now, my question was that all the presentations that were brought to the conference, they were all aimed to children, or some people also were talking about teaching to adults, for example, or teenagers.
Mm, well, students, are they considered to be adults? For students too?
Young adults.
Young adults.
Kind of, yeah. Well, for adults, as far as I know, maybe there was something on the different place. The third day was like this practical day where all the teachers shared their knowledge, and it was held on three different places. So
Mm.
I've been
Yeah,
only
like you
on,
had three different tracks, right?
yeah, and maybe on in the other sections there was something for adults. I just don't know about that.
You didn't tell it. Got it.
I have a question.
Yeah, please.
How did you feel being surrounded by people of the same origin as you are?
Oh, that's a good question. Thank you for that. Well, I felt this strong, like my identity became stronger when I'm around these people, and I
Started to
felt
shine through.
understood. Yes, yes, I like
Shine
um,
bright like a diamond?
felt understood by those people.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell here to anyone that I'm from Uzbekistan, people start asking questions. Why you look so different from people from Uzbekistan? What did you do there? Why I was born there?
What did you do to yourself?
Whoa.
Why
Yes.
were you born there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, that's these are questions I get, and as soon as I tell those people of German origin that I was born in Uzbekistan, they okay, because I know many people from Uzbekistan who are Germans, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not a big deal there.
Not a big deal for them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you felt understood, that you
Like
could
part of the
relate to them.
community.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is what like the question was about community basically because I feel like I belong to different communities. Like I belong to community of teachers, like because I'm a teacher myself, so I can say things about teaching to a lot of people, but only teachers will understand me what I really mean. Then I belong to community, for example, of book lovers because I love books, and I can yes tell you about books. But if another person reads as much as I do, they might understand me better. So yeah, and this is where especially there is origin in question. It's a I know a closer community or something. No, not closer. Sorry.
Deeper,
Um,
maybe. It's
maybe
a
deeper connection. Yes, to the
deeper connection.
community.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And the strongest feeling that I had, it was on the concert. There was this 30th anniversary of the German Culture Center in Tomsk, and they invited all of us to this conference and held
Yeah,
it,
so
and
it
it was
was
organized.
like
Yes, like,
connected to the anniversary.
yes, yes, somehow connected. And there was a huge concert. And people like German people from other regions of Siberia came there, and they were wearing these traditional German costumes, and they
Mm-hmm.
were like dancing, singing, uh, children singing, dancing, playing musical instruments. It was the strongest feeling that I had because I also went to the culture center back in the childhood, as I told you in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also had these folks dances, and I know this culture, and it was like a familiar thing, something from my childhood, like nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Memory unlocked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, that's so
amazing.
cool. Because again, you can tell us all about it, and we're gonna be like, yeah, cool. But as we do not share the same memories, the same origin, basically, well, we kind of do, but still. So yeah, it's really nice. And I guess like listeners might think, what are you talking about? But there is a hidden agenda here, because it's maybe from me only, but still, I just wanna um I want to say make. No, I don't want to make people. I just want to encourage people to seek for different communities that they can join and feel welcome there. For example, even I consider us trying to create some kind of community of language enthusiasts. Like, all languages are welcome here. If you want just to be understood that you just like a language, you're interested in languages, just come here, and that's it. Then yeah, there are different kind of communities. It doesn't have to be only about your origin or something, right?
Yeah, I agree with you totally. And I do believe that it helps with all the ups and downs that you have in your life when you have the community, when you are feeling seen, heard, understood, appreciated. It always helps to, yeah, go through all the obstacles and bit of rough patches that you have inevitably in your life. So for sure, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally agree with you.
I was also wanting to ask you,
Hmm.
I've been meaning to ask you that it was a community for you as the part of your origin, but I also guess it was kind of doubled because it was a community of teachers as well. So it was
Oh.
two pluses in a row, yes? And I know that teachers are going to conferences just to feel that part of a bigger group, part of the bigger organism, because especially if you're working online and just in front of your computer, you can feel lonely and you can feel that you are the only warrior in here. But when you go to the conference, you feel that, yeah, you're not alone basically, that you have someone next to you that can help you and hold you. Did you get that feeling as well?
Yes, of course I did. And before going to the conference, I thought about like this feeling of maybe contests or maybe competitive things that could be there in the conference. Maybe the teachers would, I don't know, criticize me for, I don't know, wasting my time playing all these songs and
So
games.
some doubt
Mm-hmm.
in there.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, it's not really like
Teachers criticizing, nonsense, never
yeah.
happens. Never happens. Yes.
So I like these were like minor worries about this conference, but as soon as I got there and as soon as I heard the first like two or three presentations, I felt this like feeling belonging to a group, belonging to a community, that people understand, that people support you,
Mm-hmm.
and
Don't judge
um,
you.
yeah, they don't judge you.
At
They
least not
just
in your face. I'm sorry.
no. No competition at all. Like,
Mm-hmm.
was amazing because nowadays as a private teacher, as a teacher like the I wouldn't say lonely one, but like the one teacher that you're a self-entrepreneur or something,
Yeah, yes.
self-employed
No,
as a
Self-employed
self-employed.
teacher.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, as a self-employed teacher, you get that feeling of the competition between all these teachers, maybe sometimes, yeah, like
At least you see that it is a competitive market, maybe from time to time.
And you
yes,
see how much somebody might be doing.
Yes, yes, and you
And you're
start
like,
to
should
compare
I? Should
yourself to
I?
others.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I agree. Yes.
but it's not the case on the conference, so I advise you. So I strongly recommend you to take part in those things, and maybe we can create something like that.
Oh my
Yeah, too.
god. Well,
No,
we
I
need to have
mean
Yulia back to ask
immediate.
how to do it, because she's done two of them. Is that
So
right?
yeah, she has done too. Yes,
She knows how to do things.
there are still conferences that every teacher can apply to, and as far as I know, you can just apply to be a presenter, so to
Oh, a
talk
speaker?
about something.
Really?
To speaker, yes, yes,
Oh,
yes,
wow.
sure. For example, I know that if I'm not mistaken, soon we will have Trendy English conference, and I'm sure you cannot participate as speaker because you need to do that in advance, and they have some screening, and you need to go through some interviews. But if there are some seats left to go as a listener, yes, it's possible. And you remember, Zoya, one time we went with you to a conference.
Yep.
As well, and we were listening to other teachers.
Where you showed me Yule and said like, well, I came because of her, basically. And I'm like,
Yes.
I came because of you. So I came because of her too. All right. It makes sense. Yeah, but
Yes,
to be
it is.
honest, I was a bit in two minds. I went there because Susha invited me to come along, basically. And I was like, okay. So I went, and I have no regrets because I still heard some stuff that I noted down and then looked back at and maybe used it or something. I don't remember. But basically it's just again the feeling of belonging, because all the teachers, and I was also like, whoa, they're gonna talk about this stuff and I don't know how to do it, and they like, and you're afraid to ask any questions because they might feel that you're stupid or something. But no, nothing like this happened there. Like, people asked all kinds of questions there, not being shy and afraid of something. So I was like, yeah, it's really cool. I like being surrounded by teachers.
So yeah, I think it's all from seeking connection to like-minded people, or to people who can basically understand and share some of your concerns. I don't know. So yes, it's always nice to understand that you're not alone. Okay, so
Okay.
thanks for sharing that.
Yes, thank you
That
for
was
sharing.
great.
It was really nice.
Thank you for asking.
All right, then that will be a wrap for today. Thank you for listening to our chat about going to conferences and feeling part of the group. Share your comments below. Have you attended any conferences? Maybe you have some recommendations where we can go, or some other people can go.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.